I just got back from the grocery store and they had just barely marked down some meat. And so I wasn't planning on doing this today. And I wasn't planning on even getting meat, but it was a really good price. And so I decided to just grab it, but I don't have any freezer space. So my only option is to can it. So I got a bunch of chicken thighs and drumsticks, and I know that that isn't my husband's favorite kind of meat, and so I like it a lot, and I like to make it with Asian-y food, but my husband doesn't like Asian food at all. So I'm going to can them in these pint jars. Because that's more manageable for me to eat, because if he's not going to be eating it, then I don't want to have to waste a huge quart, because I'm not going to be able to eat that much meat in before it will go bad. So I'm going to can the thighs and the drumsticks in these pint jars today, and I was kind of contemplating whether to do it, but then I realized that I have a Presto Electric Pressure Canner, and so I wasn't overwhelmed by it. If I didn't have this pressure canner, I would be very overwhelmed, but because I do have this pressure canner, it basically does everything for you, and canning meat is so simple, so simple. All we're going to do, we're going to put these jars inside the pressure canner, get them warm. I already washed them out. So we're going to put them in the pressure canner, get them warm, and then when they're warm, we're just going to pack the meat in there. You don't have to add water or anything, because the meat will produce enough of its own juice. And then you just pressure can them for, I'll have to look it up again, but for where I'm at, I think it was like 45 minutes or something like that. But so we're going to put these jars in the pressure canner, and then we will pack them when it says that they're ready to be packed. Okay, the first thing that we need to do for this pressure canner is fill this up. It has a little line right here. It's about 2.5 inches or something like that. And I'm gonna get the water hot first before I put it in there, because I don't want to have to take the extra time to get it hot when when I could get it hot from in here. Okay, I have the water up to the line, and we'll put this pot back in the pressure canner. Okay, I'm adding a splash of vinegar to this water because it will prevent the outside of the jars from getting cloudy, which, oops, it won't hurt anything. It just makes it unpleasing to look at. Okay, so I just turned it on. It's this, you probably can't see it, but it says pressure can, or there's the option to boiling water can, which is water bathing. I'm going to do pressure can. That's the only way that we're going to do the meat. And then you set for the time. For where I'm at right now, it's 65 minutes. Because I'm doing pints. If it was quarts, it would be longer. And they have bones in there. Okay, so it says to insert jars. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my jars up with water so that they get hot as well. The water, there's already water in here up to that 2.5 inch mark. Okay, this is what it looks like. I got 6, 7, 8. I got 8 pint jars in there, so that will be perfect for me, because it will probably only be me and the kids eating this. And it says insert jars. We did that. We're gonna put the lid back on so that it can build up some heat in there. Take off this regulator and put it to the side. Close this and lock it. And then in about 10 minutes, it says that it will say that the cans are all done getting warm, and then we'll just put the meat in. Okay, before I get those jars out, I'm going to open this and try and prepare them as much as I can. I'm just gonna take the skin off, actually, because... Okay, I'm gonna do this one jar at a time. I'm gonna take this, the lid off of the pressure canner. Pour the hot water out. We put the lid back on the pressure canner. We're going to see how much we can fit in this pint jar. Might be about 2 thighs, it looks like. Battery died, so I got 2 thighs and like half of a drumstick. I just cut the meat off of a drumstick because the bone was coming out anyways. I'm going to wipe the rim of this with some distilled vinegar just to make sure that it will seal correctly. Lid and a ring, and then we will put it back in here, and I'll do that a couple more times. I only got 6 pints because I got 2 packs of drumsticks and the bones were too long to fit in the jar, so I had to trim all the meat off of them. And I had to turn up the turn up the time, because if you're doing it with bones or without bones, it's a difference of about 10 minutes. And so there is some with bones and some without bones, so I did it for the longer time. I don't think that it's going to really affect the ones that have bones. They'll be in there longer, but I wanted to make sure that the ones that didn't have bones in them were going to be okay. So this right now says heat. When the pressure builds up, I'll put the regulator on, and it will tell me when to do that. It'll be like 10 to 15 minutes probably. I only have 1 more minute of venting, and then I can put the regulator on, and once I put the regulator on, then I just walk away and it's like completely done. I don't touch it for about 3 hours probably, because I put it on for 75 minutes to process. And then after that it has to cool down. And it just cools down all by itself, which is awesome, because I could go pick up kids, I could walk away, I could take a nap, whatever, and I wouldn't be worried about this. But if you're doing this pressure canning on the stove, you have to watch it a lot more closely. And so, I love this Presto pressure canner because it basically does 95% of the work for you. And so that, it cost I think it was like $300 or something. But so far it has been worth it because I can do small batches and it doesn't overtake my whole day. Okay, so now it says put regulator on, so we're going to put that on. And it's on the can, it's pointing towards us, so that means that it's on the canning thing. And so I did it. Now we're just going to wait 75 minutes and we'll see you back when it's all done cooling. This says that it's done now. I'm going to open this, and it's been cooling for a while. So I'm not too concerned about like shocking them when I open the lid. It smells delicious. I'm gonna grab these with this. It's amazing how much broth it makes on its own. They look pretty good. They look like they've all sealed already. I don't see... Anyways, I'm not going to touch them. I'm just going to leave them for a little bit and we'll come check on them in a few hours. Okay, this chicken has now been sitting overnight. I just took the rings off and all of the tops are indented. So that means that they have sealed. Another way that we can check is, the first time I did this I was so scared. It was with a bigger jar though. Is if you hold it by that middle lid, and if it doesn't fall, then it has sealed. So all of these jars have sealed and they are good to go, and we'll label them and put them on our shelf, and then I'll use them throughout the next year-ish. Okay, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you are intimidated by canning meat of any sort, you can do it. If you don't have an electric pressure canner, you can just have a normal pressure canner and that will work just fine. It just takes a little bit more babying. You have to be there in order to do it. But canning raw meat is one of the easiest things to do because you don't have to add anything. You don't have to make sure that there's the right acidity or anything like that. You just put the meat in, you put the lid on, and you put it in. And so if you're intimidated, you got this. I'm just grateful that you guys are here with me And I hope that if you guys have the desire to, that you guys go get an electric pressure canner, because it makes pressure canning so simple and not daunting at all. And it does most of the work for you. And so if you guys want to, and if it's on your Christmas list, then I hope that you get it, and that you enjoy the canning process, because it is fun once you actually like open a book and you see how many things you can make on your own. I just encourage you to do it because you can do it. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Anyways, thanks for coming and watching. And if you would, I would encourage you to like and subscribe and share if there's someone who you feel that this would benefit. And I hope to see you guys next time.